In a bold and rare media engagement, Russian President Vladimir Putin has made an appeal through an interview with American television host Tucker Carlson, calling for the West, particularly the United States, to enter into negotiations regarding the situation in Ukraine. The extensive 2-hour discussion offered a candid insight into Putin's perspective on the conflict that has gripped global attention. The interview marks a significant departure from Putin's usual rhetoric on the Ukraine conflict. Until recently, the Russian leader has primarily projected an image of confidence in a swift military success. However, his latest overtures suggest a potential shift towards seeking a diplomatic resolution involving the West. Background to the conflict. The tension in Ukraine roots back to 2014, when Russia annexed Crimea following the ousting of Ukraine's pro-Moscow president. The move was widely condemned by the international community and led to an armed conflict in eastern Ukraine between Ukrainian forces and Russia-backed separatists. The ongoing war has led to thousands of deaths and a humanitarian crisis. Putin's call for negotiation comes after extensive sanctions have been imposed on Russia by the U.S. and its allies, designed to isolate the country economically and politically. These sanctions, alongside the increasing aid from the West to Ukraine, have influenced the dynamics of the conflict, potentially contributing to Russia's shift in approach. Negotiations, a new phase. During the interview with Tucker Carlson, Putin articulated that a military victory in Ukraine might not be the conclusive solution. Instead, he highlighted the need for a deal that would involve significant dialogue with the West. Although Vladimir Putin did not specify the terms he envisions for such negotiations, the statement alone signals a noteworthy pivot in strategy. The suggestion of negotiations appears to address the stalemate that has emerged on the ground in Ukraine, where neither Russian forces nor Ukrainian defenders, bolstered by Western military support, had achieved a decisive breakthrough. Some analysts speculate this impasse has driven the Kremlin to reconsider its initial strategy and assess the benefits of diplomacy over prolonged conflict. Relevance and implications. The call for negotiations carries growing relevance as the international community continues to grapple with the consequences of the Ukraine conflict, including geopolitical tensions and disruptions in global energy supplies and grain exports. Negotiations could pave the way for a potential de-escalation of the conflict, which has had ripple effects on international relationships and the global economy. However, the path to such negotiations is fraught with complexity. Western governments, particularly the United States, have expressed unwavering support for Ukraine's sovereignty and integrity. Any talks would be contingent upon a framework that aligns with these principles. Additionally, there would be a need to address the actions that sparked the conflict, along with the subsequent military engagements and humanitarian impact. In conclusion, President Putin's interview with Tucker Carlson unfolds a new layer in the ongoing narrative of the Ukraine conflict. While the call for negotiations marks a significant moment in the diplomatic landscape surrounding this issue, the feasibility and potential outcomes of such discussions remain uncertain. The international community awaits responses from the U.S. and its allies, which will play a vital role in determining the next phase of the situation in Ukraine.